Howdy y'all, SOB here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 things that make Romulans such an amazing and unique faction for endgame players. Before we get started, this video is in partnership with PerfectWorld for the Faction Allegiance campaign, and they've given me a few Bajoran militia uniform codes to give away, so if you're interested in those, stay tuned and I'll be going over the specifics at the end of the video. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. Starting out at number 5, some things are cheaper and or easier to obtain on Romulans. Due to Romulans only being able to use ships up to tier 4 from their allies, Romulans simply can't obtain some traits or consoles by buying a ship, they just don't have that option. This has resulted in Romulans being extremely lucky in some cases. A notable recent example is the DPRM console from the Federation exclusive prototype Dreadnought. Romulans and Klingons can get that console for less than 10 million EC off the exchange, while Feds have to pay around 300 million EC to get the ship to get it. There's many different things that this has happened with over the years, and Romulans just keep lucking out. At number 4 we have Singularity abilities. An important aspect of Romulan ships is that they don't have a warp core. Instead of a warp core, a Singularity core is used. The Singularity core grants you access to Singularity abilities, but it's at the cost of 40 power. While this seems like a massive hit, it's actually not, especially with the numerous things we've gotten over the years to give us power, such as Supremacy, the Plasmonic Leech, and all the other things. There are 5 Singularity abilities available to use, but only 2 are really worth mentioning. Those 2 are the Singularity Jump, which teleports your ship 5 kilometers forward, and Warp Shadows, which creates a Warp Shadow decoy of your ship that taunts NPCs. Staying in combat longer builds up the Singularity charge level, buffing up the effects of the abilities. For example, a level 5 Warp Shadow creates 5 Warp Shadows of your ship, each pulling focus away from you. This is a great way to keep yourself alive if you're in a Romulan ship. Next up is number 3, the Battle Cloak. This is where we start to get into the really fun stuff with Romulans. Every faction has ships with a cloak of some sort. The Federation has ships that have just terrible cloaks. Most of the Klingon ships also have a terrible cloak that you can't hit while in combat. Romulans have a massive edge here, easily beating what most of the competition has, because every Singularity Core ship has a built-in battle cloak, which means you can cloak right in the middle of combat if you want. Now, you don't want to be cloaking in combat most of the time, but there are actually some reasons why you would want to. And one of those is Cloak Ambush. The basic summary of it is you just need to hit your battle cloak, be in the cloak for 3 seconds. When the timer hits 2 on the cloak icon, you leave the cloak, and you get your Cloak Ambush. This Cloak Ambush is a damage buff that only lasts 5 seconds with the base buffs, but if you invest in some of the bridge officers to extend the duration, it can last quite a bit of time. Which leads us into number 2, Romulan bridge officers, and no, I don't mean just actual Romulans. Reman bridge officers are pretty rare and they're a bit costly due to not having a recruitment DOF mission pop up, which hopefully Cryptic will fix at some point. But they are worth it for those wanting to extend the duration of their Cloak Ambush. However, they do have one issue, and that is, unlike the superior Romulan operatives we'll be discussing in a minute, the Reman bridge officers with the infiltrator don't really stack easily. You can't run 2 of the superior infiltrators to extend the duration of the Cloak Ambush by 20 seconds, but you can run a basic infiltrator, and superior infiltrator to extend the Cloak Ambush by 22.5 seconds, giving you 27.5 seconds of that Cloak Ambush damage buff. While that sounds nice, I really wouldn't recommend running more than a superior infiltrator in most cases, due to the Romulan bridge officers with the legendary superior Romulan operative trait. These stack perfectly fine with each other, and you can run 1 in each buff slot if you want, which is unique to the Romulan faction. Most Federation and Klingon players will have went through the chase for Romulan bridge officers from the Fleet Embassy at some point, but they're limited to only getting those SROs in their tactical bridge officer slots. Romulans get to run them in every slot, and often get them free while leveling up, or dirt cheap off the exchange. I've bought some of these on streams for like 500 EC. It's basically free. Last thing to note for bridge officers is that Romulans do have a way to maximize the benefits of all of those traits if they're willing to pay for it. The very not budget friendly $150 Delta Operations Pack has a Romulan engineer with both Superior Romulan Operative and Superior Subterfuge, alongside a Reman Tactical with Superior Infiltrator and Superior Romulan Operative. Running those two bridge officers along with 3 other Superior Romulan Operatives means Romulans tend to have a 6% crit chance lead over other factions, alongside having a 15-second Cloak ambush, which is just a pretty nasty combo. Finally, at number 1, we have the Scimitar. While not as powerful as shown in Star Trek Nemesis, the Scimitar is still a predator. It has held its position as the top performing ship in the game for years, even remaining competitive against the Tier 6 ships before the Tier 6 version of the Scimitar was released. With a 5-3 weapon layout, a hangar bay of what many consider to be the best pets in the game, all of the perks from the previous points, and an amazing console set with the Tier 6 version, you'll have a very hard time getting ships close to what the Scimitar can do, even with it having one of the weakest specialization seats you can get. And that wraps things up, so I hope you've all learned something about Romulans from this. In addition to this video, I've got 1 or 2 themed Romulan build videos planned for sometime this week. And starting next Monday, I'll have a short series starting about modern ways to get large amounts of EC. And for those of you that are interested in the giveaway of the Bajoran Militia uniform, this is a PC-specific code. Just subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below with your STO handle to enter. I have 5 codes to give away, and I'll announce the winner Friday on my stream, and I'll reply to your comments on this video if you're a winner. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more ultra casual content.